This is Chapter 31, Number 7. A government agency caps aggregate emissions of an air pollutant within its borders, establishes initial pollution allowances across all firms, and grants the firms the right to trade these allowances among themselves. The demand and supply curves for these pollution allowances have normal shapes and intersect at a positive price. Explain in your own words the government's intent in establishing this private market for pollution allowances. So this is a cap and trade program with a lot more words to describe it, right? They capped it as in the pollution within the borders. That's all that's allowed. And then they divided that among the firms in these permits, which are, it says, tradable. So it's cap and trade. Why would they do such thing? I'll read the textbook answer and see if it requires further explanation. The positive market price of allowances is equivalent to a price that a firm must pay in order to release an additional unit of pollutant. The idea behind establishing the market for pollution allowances, therefore, is to give firms an incentive to limit the quantity of pollutants released into the atmosphere. I think that could probably be expanded upon a little bit. So you're given permits to pollute X units of pollutant per year. Now, you can sell those or you can use them. You can't do both. If you've used it to pollute, it's done. It's expired because you used it. What's that mean if you don't use it? You could sell it. Well, there's a market for these because other firms would like to be able to pollute to produce their good as well. And so you could sell your permit to them so they could go ahead and pollute up to the optimal amount that we looked at in the framework. Well, if I'm a firm and I like to make money, which is what's assumed of firms, then there are two ways I could do it now. I could make money by using up my permits and producing as much of my good as I can, or I could make money by producing my good without having to use the permits. Then I could make money by selling the permits as a second source of income for the firm, second source of revenue for the firm, right? So it inspires innovation for firms to figure out ways to produce without polluting, without using those permits, because the permits have economic value since they can resell the permits to someone else if they don't use it. That's the idea of this kind of a cap and trade approach, is to go ahead and let there be an optimal amount of pollution, permit it out to go up to that amount, and then make sure the permits are tradable so that they have a market price, so that firms are incentivized to make money by selling the permits, and that should incentivize them to figure out ways to be able to produce less. That's what these plans are about.